And we are live.
Hey, look at that.
I needed to find the button.
Was it hiding?
I have
the one. You mean the one that's in front of you on your stream deck?
No, not that one.
The
That
one that says
breaks
"Do not
everything.
push under any circumstances."
Yeah, that like I literally have a post-it on my stream deck where it says "Do not fucking push," because I am so tempted every time I come back from AFK to press that main screen button.
I wish I lived closer to you, Rojan, because I swear I would just go into your room
And just press the button.
No, I would set the fucking profiles up for your stream deck so you don't have to.
Here's the thing. Brave enough for you to assume I would even use them.
I'm just saying, then there'd be no excuse.
No. Once you create the
excuse.
profiles, they're separated, and you have to select the profile before you can
Here's
do
the
the
thing.
buttons.
Before I moved and everything, I had the profiles set up on the stream deck. I still never used them. I had a profile for the Tuesday game, the RPG mixtape games that I was DMing or the ones that I had to broadcast. Pretty much anything that I was doing on this channel. Never used them. Took 5 minutes to set them up. Still didn't use it.
Somehow I'm not shocked.
You shouldn't be. I mean, I am the king of procrastination and forgetfulness.
Well, I was about to say it shouldn't surprise us that you enjoy punishing yourself. You are a GM.
Oh yeah. Like if there's an easy way to do something, I will specifically ignore that and add 10 steps to it. Yeah. Because then I feel like I achieved something. If I take the easy way, I mean, that's just I opened a door.
First, you have to go get the toolkit. Then you have to remove the door from the hinges.
Yep.
Dismantle the lock. Reassemble the lock after you're on the other
exactly.
side.
That's why you liked playing Forge.
Exactly. The way Forge picks a lock is how I do any task. It would just be easier to break the door down or have somebody with thieves' tools do it. Nah, I'm just gonna disassemble the lock so we can open the door and then reassemble it so nobody knows we were there.
I mean, it worked.
It did.
Scarily so.
It worked very well.
Can you get out? No.
Sorry, they currently.
I can. I need a screwdriver in 10 minutes.
Well, no, because the question is always going to be, did you pick that lock? And then the response is no.
No, I assembled it.
Which is always going to turn up to be true because he didn't pick the lock.
Zone of truth.
He took the lock apart and put it back together.
Yep.
Which technically
isn't picking.
Not picking the lock.
No, it's home repair.
There were no lock picks involved.
Yeah. It was different means for the same end.
I mean, sometimes you just got to, add 20 steps in order to achieve success. But for those of you watching, don't do what I do.
Yeah. That's why Gear Forge will never take over the world.
Yeah, those of you that are watching, don't do what Forge did. Do what half the other party did and just go out the window.
Too much planning.
Exactly. Forge is like doing this and everyone else is going out the window, so.
Yeah. It's like Durden's like, what are you doing? Taking the lock apart.
It's a window.
There you go. I got a window.
He still opened the door. He still
opened the door. Disassembled that door to get out, and then disassemble the front door to get out, and then had to disassemble to get back in and reassemble, and then disassemble the bedroom door and reassemble to get back into that.
I'm sorry. The best, most cringiest part of that whole thing was that the second you declared you were trying to move stealthily, everything was a failure. The second you went, nah, I'm just gonna walk. Fine.
Perfectly fine. C-class, this is why you never try.
Sometimes
if you try, you have to roll, and if you roll, the dice may fail you.
Trying includes a degree of failure may be involved. Just doing is an auto success.
I think yesterday we learned how fickle the dice can be.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like anyone's dead.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. It didn't happen yesterday.
Well, I know what happened last week on this little session.
But
We got
before we
rich.
get into that, I'm just buying myself more time here because, what happened last week. You want to start up the
I have no
December
idea
stuff?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about.
what are
either.
these?
Yeah.
What are these?
We're not playing a game today. We're just doing a December giveaway.
It looks like you want to play poker.
Sure, let's play poker with this.
I don't want to play poker with a deck of many things.
Oh my
But I'm
God.
pretty sure that Therian forgot about the deck as he put it into his pack, and it's never going to be touched ever again.
Oh,
You
God.
know what? Deck of many things, but instead of just normal poker, we're gonna do Texas Hold'em, so even more cards are drawn.
Yep.
Oh,
What
this
is a
seems like-
royal flush in the deck of many things? That is what I'm interested in.
When
Well,
space-time collapses upon itself and forms a new
the
reality.
thing is, the only fair way to do Texas Hold'em with a deck of many things is if you win the hand with the whole card, then you win. Like whatever the whole card flops when you do the whole card and you're the winning hand, that's what you get. Otherwise, you just basically nuke the universe, which is
No, like I said, you get that royal flush. Space-time collapses upon itself and reforms into a new reality, aka season 3. So yeah,
Oh,
so
no.
we're doing a special little dice giveaway here for the month of December. We did it last year during the Sonata one shot and everyone seemed to love it. So this time we're kind of turning it to 11 as we are going to be giving away a set of Kraken dice every show that we do here for the month of December. We gave away a set last night during No Way Out, and we will be
Tiger got that one, right?
Yep, Tiger they all got won that one. I think they won last year as well.
Did they win one last year?
Yeah, they won last year, I think.
Okay.
I think they did. But yeah, so Fox posted in chat just now an immigrant link of the dice set that we are giving away today. I believe that the raffle is open now.
It is about to be open.
Okay.
Those are
I actually have
pretty.
I have the set that we're giving away today, and yeah, they are gorgeous. That sparkle, seeing it in person, oh, it's amazing.
I think I have those.
So
Yep, yeah, go ahead.
keyword raffle is open now. All you have to do is type !December in the chat, and that will enter you into the raffle. It will be open for approximately half of the stream today. So at the halfway mark, we'll be doing our draw for the winner. All you have to do is be present for that and tell us what you won. If your name is drawn, just say dice or something. You don't actually have to say the name of the set. And then we will give you further instruction from there.
I have that set in black, which is Abyss.
Oh, you have the Abyss dice. Nice.
Yeah, Abyss is in the same family. I was torn between the black and the blue, and I went black because it's the color of my heart.
See, I have the Abyss too, and I actually am using that set tonight.
Zorro, can I enter?
I don't know, Zora. You're the one that's sponsoring this giveaway, so it's up to you.
I mean, there's no way she could rig the drawing. She's not the
This is
one
true.
doing it.
I know.
I mean, she's technically on break. She's not in any of the games.
But if you're not
Oh,
present,
so all
and
I
you're
have to
drawn,
do is quit this game right now.
you were here when we did the intro, so
Yeah.
you're excluded.
Nice try.
But Zoro, if you're not here and your name is drawn, you can't have Shadow Fox respond for you.
Dude, I was tempted to put. I was tempted to do exclamation giveaway yesterday. That dice set is pretty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really beautiful sets in the giveaway pot. I'm really excited for some of them.
I like, people were asking me what I wanted for Christmas. I'm like, dice.
I want dice.
Yep.
Give me
Or
dice.
dice.
Here's the Kraken Dice website. Give me that and cheese popcorn. I'm fine. I'm a very simple person. I normally don't want anything for Christmas, so it's just like, yeah, get me cheese popcorn, like gourmet cheese popcorn and dice, and I am set.
Yes.
Don't get me gift cards because I will never spend them.
I need
the,
to.
the powder cheese popcorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to figure out a game to buy myself for my Twitch for Christmas. Because I bought PC games for my birthday. So
I need to get back into some of those. But speaking of games, a couple things happened last week. And I hope to God you guys get into some battles and there are some conditions today, because I bought animated condition markers for
Nice.
the overlays.
Oh,
that
nice.
concerns me.
What could possibly happen? We're only going to go back to a layer of a moth thing
To dig for a
and
spot.
try to loot it more.
I don't know.
And then we're just going to head back to town. No big deal.
I don't know.
Shopping episode. Totally
Yeah,
shopping
so
episode.
as
dude.
everyone was heading back to town, getting ready to gear up in order to begin to head to the jungle where a very large meteor crashed, and through the prophetic visions that Drungle had, possible release of some ancient undead as a temple was cracked open from the impact. Along the way, you met two brand new members of your party, two very able hunters that had put down their own Tricera T-Rex tops creature. I love that thing. It's got a weird name, but I love it. But deciding that strength in numbers was a good thing, given the chaos that was ensuing around you, everyone began to make their way back to Ends Meet. When, thanks to a couple lucky rolls from Rild, you found a tunnel that a fragment of the meteor created as it crashed down to the earth, which would drastically shorten your travel time if you traveled through. Deciding that time was of the essence, you began to traverse this cavern, only to be distracted through the multitude of gemstones lining the wall. Deciding that instead of traveling or continuing to travel, this would be make a good base camp, as most of you decided to pool your efforts together to begin mining some of these gems, while others explored a little bit deeper into the tunnel. You found a false wall, not a false wall, but a blocked path that Drungle's mole form was able to open up. And after a brief meetup between the two groups, that when you had separated, you found yourself in a very illuminated cave lit by a large crystal formation up in one of the corners of it. And you came into combat with a strange hive mind-like insect queen that had the body of a giant moth with a woman attached to the top of it. After a rather brutal and couple close call fight between you and her minions, you were able to put them down, collect some nice looking treasure along with a vast amount of gold to add to the gems that you got, and a couple magical items, namely two that stand out. One was an island stone that Amelia now has, that has a 3rd level fireball stored in it. And a maybe for better or worse, Drungle got his hands on a deck of many things, which he decided to draw 2 cards, one giving him the ability to instantly level up if he is to defeat the next hostile creature in combat single-handedly.
Therian, by the way, that has that, not Dorngol.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Therian. I always mix up the names. And then he's also got a couple wishes that he is knowledgeable about, that he knows that he has these wishes. And when we last left off, everyone was beginning to settle down for the night to recover, with Therian kind of running potential wishes through his head as to what he was going to ask for. So as we open up, we are going to continue exactly where we left off, with the start of the first watch and Therian's dilemma of if he is going to if he's going to make a wish, and if so, which wish is it going to be?
Was I taking first watch, or was someone else taking first watch? I don't remember.
I believe Rild was taking first watch because Shadow Fox wanted him as far away from the deck as possible.
No. Before it was officially identified as a deck, I said that I was watching out on watch while everybody was looking at their stuff.
You're about a good 100 so feet away from the rest of the group as you're at the entrance to the cave.
So I'm sorry, did you need me to roll?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the way that we're doing this, if you've watched the Null game, it's possibly something I'm going to be putting into the Tuesday game as well, but you just say what skill you're using to perform your watch. Give me that skill check roll, and then roll a d100 afterwards. Give me percentile rolls, and based off those two, something happens.
I'm going to use perception for my watch.
Okay.
Let's see here. So that is going to be a 30 perception.
Okay.
Damn.
19 on die plus 11. And then it's going to be a 73.
A 73. Okay. So it's a rather quiet night, thankfully, after the eventful day that you've had. So even though there's nothing around you at the moment, there's no sound, there's not even wind around your campsite, which stands out a little odd to you, as these plains are normally windswept at all times. But but it's not too off-putting. It's more of a peaceful calm, sort of a bit of a welcome. And when you look up to the sky, it's a clear night sky. You can see stars and constellations as if they were a blanket on top of you. And then you begin to see 3 streaks, almost in succession, tailing one another, streak across the sky, going off to like some far land across the sea. And then the sky lights up for just a moment as if it was daylight. And then slowly but surely, the night and the stars return.
All right. Is there anything I could roll to try to make something of what just happened?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Okay. Yeah. 14.
14. You assume it was maybe another small meteor shower, and it may have struck something it shouldn't have, and possibly set off some sort of magical explosion off in the distance.
But it looked like it was super.
Yeah, like it was nowhere near the vicinity that you are.
All right, yeah. I'm just gonna let time pass.
Okay. Are you waking anyone up for the second watch, or are you just going to sleep?
Second watch. Think I'd probably go for Christiana.
Okay.
Wake her up.
Okay. This implies I have to find D20s. There we go. So I'm going to, when I woke up, sort of wander out to the front of the cave. Did you see anything well on your watch? Anything interesting?
Just some light show in the sky. Nothing near us.
Light show?
Yeah. Shooting stars lit up the sky for a bit. Again, nothing remotely near us.
Can I get some semblance of a roll on that?
Maybe insight.
Yeah, go ahead and give me insight. See if you can't piece together what he's saying.
Okay. 7. Okay. That's not going to give me a whole lot. Interesting. Well, as long as nothing lands near us, I think we'll be fine. I hope. At least the mothlet is dead. And with that, I'm going to settle down near the front of the cave to take a watch.
Okay.
I would like to run this off as survival if possible.
That is totally possible.
Dice, are we going to have words tonight?
Always.
Let me know if I get at least a short rest in.
A 7?
That is a 7.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. I have percentiles for this.
Wait, there's more.
50?
Okay. I mean, so nothing bad, nothing good.
Seriously, just let me know if I get at least an hour of sleep in, because I'm going to mark off my short rest.
No, it's fine.
Fine is relative, but okay, yeah, sure.
Christiana, can I get a percentile roll?
Another one?
Yes.
47?
Okay. You feel a bit uneasy, but you can't really put your finger on what's wrong. Just in the pit of your stomach, something just doesn't seem right.
Could be the fact that we buried some moth lady alive in the ground.
Could be,
That
She deserved it.
but it just, try as you might, you know something is wrong, but you don't know what it is.
Okay. Okay. Anything else for my watch?
Nope. Rest aside from just that feeling of something's wrong, nothing seems to happen.
We are going to wake up Amelia for the next watch.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be waking up anyway. Elf.
Yeah, I'm like, you're an elf. You only require 4 hours of sleep.
Yep.
It's a trance. It's not sleep. Thank you very much.
Important thing to note.
Elves don't sleep, they watch.
I mean, that's what I call my sleep schedule, a trance, because I barely close my eyes and I wake up.
Something doesn't feel right. Just keep an eye out.
And you feel it too, Amelia. It's just something in the air is off.
Can I make any kind of roll to try to determine what's causing me to feel so uneasy?
Yeah, just give me a straight wisdom check.
Do that. And that's actually pretty good. So that's going to be a 24.
24. You taste something in the air. Not very pleasant. Almost like hairspray.
Ugh.
You know that taste of hairspray you get
Yeah.
after you spray. Yeah. Yeah, just like that very pungent hairspray taste in your mouth.
You taste that? That's disgusting.
But what is it?
I couldn't tell you.
I get Constitution saves from both of you.
Oh, con saves are never great.
Oh. Let's try this die. Of course. So 11.
25?
Okay. What are your resistances, Amelia? Do you have any sort of resistances? Or
No.
immune to anything?
Don't think so.
Okay. So, Christiana, as you're talking to Amelia, you see her kind of wobble for a bit, and then she just falls down unconscious.
Hold on. Don't elves have like advantage against charmed or sleep effects?
Oh yeah, I guess I have that.
There you go.
So you
Oh yeah,
sleep
I do have Fey ancestry.
Okay, so you have advantage against that stuff?
I have advantage against being charmed, and magic can't put me to sleep.
Okay, well, this isn't magic, so you don't have to worry about that. But you just see her just fall to the ground unconscious in a heavy sleep.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't go to sleep. I'm gonna go poke Dorngal awake.
Okay. Try as you might, he's not waking up.
Oh, that's not good.
Shit.
Do I not get a con save? I have a really good con.
If you're asleep, you don't get a con save.
Oh.
I'm going to walk around to every person and shake them viciously.
Shake and shake and shake, and they're flopping around in like your hands as you're shaking them. You can see that there's steady breathing. They don't seem to be in any sort of danger. They're just not waking up.
Oh, that's not great. Okay. Okay. I'm a warlock. There is nothing I can do for you folks.
What's your passive perception?
I wish I was
11.
awake for that.
11.
question.
Okay, can I get a perception roll from you? Because an 11 will not cut it.
I want to be murdered. Does a 20 make it?
Yes, a 20 will make it. As you are like shaking Dorngal, a movement comes out, catches the corner of your eye as you see a bit of the wares that you guys have harvested off of these creatures and whatnot while you were out on your hunt begin to move, being picked up off of the cart and just taken down the tunnel.
Oh, I'm going to go stand on them.
And as you get closer to that, you see these strange, almost half ant-like looking creatures. The lower half of their The lower
Are
half
they
of
the
their
same?
no, the lower half of their body is like an ant's abdomen, legs and all. Upper half almost resemble kobold.
I'm going to pick up one of the wares and the ant bold attached to it.
And it kind of, as you pick it up, it weighs maybe 10 pounds. These things are like light and hollow. As you stare at it, it just kind of smiles and waves.
You can put all of that back.
Payment.
Payment for what?
Destruction of home.
We didn't destroy anyone's home. We buried a moth lady alive, but that's another problem.
Destruction of home. We must build new hive for new queen.
No. No new queen.
Mhm.
No.
No. We take things, or friends don't wake up.
You put things back, or you don't make it back.
I just won.
What have you done to them?
Oh, they just sleep. Forever. Or you give us some stuff and we let them wake up.
Well, it's not all of mine to give, so you'll have to wake them up to make that choice.
It's in our tunnel. It's our stuff, but we're only going to take parts. Not all. We're not greedy. You let us do this. We let them wake up.
Your queen's dead.
Now we make new queen. The hive must flourish.
How many of these little things were there?
As you're talking to him, you can still see more of them are just pulling things off the cart and walking down. Just like a quick glance, you see about 15 of them walking in a line. But as the farther they get away, the more they just seem to begin to blend into their surroundings. Only the movement underneath the pelts and bones that they're carrying kind of give them away. And as you're doing this, you see another like ant-like creature walk up, but instead of that of a kobold, it's a halfling with a ant lower half.
Is it like carrying something above its head?
Yeah, you see it has it like walks over and it just picks up a fur and begins to walk off.
I set down a hoof on top of it.
Kind of stops as the fur is pulled away, and he kind of like looks at you and looks back to like the kobold creature in your hand.
You're not taking our things.
Then friends don't wake up. We're only taking parts, not all.
How do I want to deal with this?
Indeed, how do you want to deal with this?
There's so many fun options. You know what? We are going to do something completely... Are there... Is there anything I could hang something from above me?
Not necessarily, no. Not unless you want to like put something up against the wall and like pin it there.
Okay. Pull out the manacles, clamp it around the body of the first one.
How big are the manacles?
Roughly human-sized.
Like human wrist size, or
Yes.
okay, you could probably like clamp it around like the upper part of their body.
Perfect. Is the other one still there?
It's kind of backed off a bit, seeing as how you're sort of manhandling the kobold one.
I'm going to make a reach for that one.
Okay. Well, it got a 1 on a grapple check, so I really don't think it's going to put too much of a struggle up.
Probably not. That's a 12.
Yeah, you grab him, and as
Okay.
you do, you feel him begin to vibrate as the lower part of his body almost sounds like it's filled with beads.
I'm going to manacle the second one,
Okay.
and then I'm going to take one of my stakes out, and I'm going to drive it in the wall and hang the manacles from it.
What's your armor class?
18.
18. Okay. Another constitution check with disadvantage this time.
That's not great. That is 16.
16. All right, so as you put them up, they're kind of hanging there. You kind of feel a couple pricks hit you in like the backside of the horse portion of your body, and you begin to feel a little bit woozy as you taste that hairspray taste again, and then you just black out.
Oh, there will be murder when I wake up.
Can you give me a D4?
2.
2. All right. The sun begins, the sun rises, and everyone wakes up with a horrible taste in their mouth and a excruciating migraine. Your vision almost double as your eyes open.
Do I wake up?
Yes, you do.
Can I do some sort of medicine check to try and determine what's going on?
Yeah.
The little ant creatures are building a new queen.
I don't remember drinking last night.
we go.
I have
They also
such a
stole half
headache.
of our stuff.
That's a 12. So
12.
yeah.
You know you were hit with some sort of poison. What sort of poison? You're unsure. And no, they didn't take half. They only took 47%.
I just
What about the 2 that were hooked to the wall?
They're not there anymore. Manacles and all are missing.
Now I'm just irritated.
Who poisoned us? Wait,
The
who
little
could-
ant-like creatures that took stuff from our, and I point over to our cart. They're trying to summon a new queen because we killed their last one.
Who cooked last night? Out of curiosity.
I believe it was
anybody
real, wasn't it?
Did they?
No,
Because
Christian
Oh,
did.
yeah, yeah.
Because everybody got
I think
those
it
plus twos.
It was
Yeah.
+2s
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we have.
By the
that.
way, that's gone.
What's gone?
The plus twos for 24 hours is gone. Can I get nature checks from everyone? Or survival, your call.
No, that's a natural one. I'm too distracted by the poison.
24.
Survival of 18.
25, 18.
Nature.
Survival of 23.
What about you, Dongrel?
Induce survival. Has a better chance. 18.
All right.
Survival.
So aside from Amelia, who is distracted by what sort of poison you were hit with, the rest of you realize it's been 2 days since you went to sleep.
So you're saying we got a long rest?
Oh, you got a very long rest.
Wait, something put us to sleep for 2 whole days.
2 whole days.
I'm sure our elf has complaints.
Yeah, Elf has lots of complaints. Never slept so long in my life.
Technically, you've never slept.
Yep.
Just as a note, they took half of our stuff.
Half of the stuff that was on the cart, or half of everything?
On the cart.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Well, yeah.
as Zora points out, the meat that you had on there is kind of getting along.
Yeah, I was about to say anything perishable on the cart is not worth taking.
Yeah. The perishables are either rotting or starting to spoil, and you're missing about 47% of the hides and horns and when you collected.
What did these things look like? I make mental notes. I smash and bash the next
The
time
bottom
I see
half
them.
of an ant and the upper half of one looked like a kobold. There was a halfling. I'm assuming one of every race. I want to.
Have I heard of anything like this before?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Sure. I'll fail an Arcana check for you.
I'll fail an Arcana check for you. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, it's a 6 total. Yeah. And
A
like
6?
I said, I only have a +1 to that roll. So unless I roll
This is completely new to you.
So, the big question is, do we want to get our stuff back that was stolen? Might I add again, so they can make a new queen like the one we buried alive?
high, I don't know. We need way to protect self from whatever they did to put us to sleep.
Personally, I think we've wasted enough time here.
You're not even slightly annoyed they took half of everything we had.
I'm very annoyed.
Annoyed, yes, but they made their point.
If they can put us to sleep for multiple days and nothing wake us up, then who's to say next time we fight them and we go to sleep, we don't wake up anymore?
I'm with Rail. If it's not worth the effort of going down there again. They made their point. Let's leave their home, and that way they
The
can. leave
real
us alone.
question is, I want to do a check of what's on the cart versus. So, what did they take?
Like I said, pretty much 47% of whatever total you guys had.
So basically, 47% of whatever HP Fox has written down.
Yeah.
For like
Yeah. I have 2 party lists, cart items and non-cart items. I assume everything on the cart was affected.
Everything on the card is affected.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so the value per person of all of our monster parts has now just been reduced by 47%. So
Well, if those monster parts are still viable anymore.
Yeah, no, these are the viable ones. These are the horns and the hides and stuff like
yeah,
that.
these
Okay.
aren't the meats.
The meat is spoiled now. There's, unless you want to use it for bait or something like that, there's no need to hold on to it.
So a quick refresher of the 4 types of parts that we have. We have chameleon hydra parts, sanddrift drake parts, we have void leather, and we have tricentataurus parts. I think.
What
I said
about
that right.
the?
Yeah, Tricentataurus.
What about the containers of the blood?
The blood? That's a good point. Would the blood be affected? Would they take some of that?
The blood is still there. The bladders
Blood
are
is
still there.
Okay.
If they had taken that, there was going to be murder, flat out.
Yeah, I cut the value in half. I didn't have a value written down for that, but I will make sure I note that it is on the cart.
Look, they just took some monster parts. We can get more.
We already hit a bigger payday than we ever expected with these gems.
I said let's
Call it a
continue.
win.
Do we
Let's-
have most of the gems?
They didn't touch the gems or the coin.
Yeah, the
Okay.
gems are in my inventory, not on the cart.
And
Those are too valuable to leave out in the open.
They're in extra dimensional space. They'd have to know which bag to go to and how to operate a bag of holding or whatever.
It's not even a matter of knowing how to operate it. They would have to literally know what they're looking for to pull it out of the bag.
Exactly.
It's in the write up. You have to know what you're pulling out of it.
Or turn it inside out. See what happens.
Oh no, you do not turn them inside out in my games because I have a special rule for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roja makes bad things happen if you do that with a bag of holding.
Well, I know what happens when you put one bag of holding inside another, but turning it inside out.
Yeah, go ahead. You know,
you would rather put a bag of holding in another bag of holding than turn it inside out.
Yep.
Tell me, do any of you have the ability to prevent a black hole from forming?
Not currently,
character.
no.
Nope.
Yeah, you do.
Not on this character.
No, Therian does. He has wishes.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's true.
Like
But
Therian does.
remember what happened? What happened the last time a wish was made with HB Fox?
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have backup characters.
I hope I have a backup world.
Pretty much.
Several of them.
How
Tuesday game never comes back.
How many did we destroy in that campaign? At least 3?
Hey,
I think it ended up being a total of 4.
at least if there's a black hole, the lich problem would be solved.
Well,
And the Fae problem.
Yeah.
there would be so many problems solved all at once. It wouldn't be great, and there'd be some people that are displeased.
Zora says we're not allowed.
I can't be trust.
So I think we should just continue on to town.
What time of day is it when we get outside?
Like I said, the sun was just coming up when you guys woke up.
Alrighty. So then, as part of my preparing spells, I am going to prepare protection from poison.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume we're all starving,
Oh yeah, you're pretty hungry.
and I'm gonna go gather some food.
No. Dorngal will, as part of his morning preparation as well, prepare Goodberry,
Best spell.
and try to do a Goodberry casting, and give everyone a what are there, 5 of us? That's perfect. Gives everybody 2 good berries, so that should sate any adverse effects of hunger.
Yep, as it provides a day's worth of food and water in one little berry.
Do I get 1 temporary HP?
Yes.
You get, well, if you were down HP, you would get an HP.
Yeah.
It heals. It doesn't give temp HP.
They're emergency gushers for any time somebody goes down.
It's basically lightweight rations.
But what if I wanted to hunt rabbits?
If you wanted to hunt rabbits,
Well, now you can hunt rabbits and not be hungry when you do it.
Not have the sound of my grumbling stomach scare them off before I get them?
Pretty much.
hunting with disadvantage, aka hunting with hard mode. But yeah, you can most definitely decide. You can most definitely hunt again if you'd like. I'm not really gonna require you to roll anything for that, seeing as how it's so mundane at the point that you're only doing it for meat.
Well, besides, I've also got the Outlander background, so I can scavenge things up. So yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you hunt for about an hour, and you're able to get about like 2 rabbits around the vicinity of the cave opening.
Hand them to Christiana. She did such a good job cooking last time. Plus, she got us all knocked out. But I don't know
Wow.
that.
Wow. Hey, is that a bus? Chuck.
You did, Raven.
Yes, I am. I can probably do something useful with these rabbits. Yeah, let's go.
You've
for
proven to be a handy cook.
it. Yeah, no. Kristana's still incredibly angry.
What was
You
the
get
survival
slightly crispy rabbit out of that.
roll? What was the survival
Mm.
roll?
8.
Pocket jerky.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's not it's palatable. It's food, but it's nothing like the masterpiece you had the other night.
So when Christiana presents us with food, I am going to burn a first level spell and cast Purify Food. Because I don't trust her cooking no more.
Okay.
We were poisoned last night.
Oh,
He
2
claims it
nights
was
ago.
little Ant-Man.
Any food that knock you out for 2 days pretty much kill you. I don't know anything in nature that takes you out for that long and does not have permanent effect.
Still can't hurt.
Do what you will. I'm just saying. There's no flora in the area that is that poisonous. Worst case scenario, maybe you get some gangrene and we chop something off.
You're still talking about natural poisons. No saying that none of you are carrying a poison that's not natural. So I'm more purify my food.
Okay.
Or purify real food at the same time. Put our plates next to each other and purify both.
Side question.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Hippo Man?
He's not there.
He wasn't with us in the moth fight, and he isn't here now.
Nope.
That is going to affect Dorngol's decision to hunt the ant people. Because he is going to presume that they took him prisoner.
Well, he wasn't with you in the queen fight either.
Oh, he wasn't.
I at least
No.
slipped away at some point. And apparently I didn't see it with my passive perception of 9.
What was he? But I
He was
assume
with
the
you
answer
when-
is no. But he wasn't at the camp when we came back, right?
No, he wasn't. He was with you when you first entered and you started to make the camp, but when everybody went off their own way, he wasn't there.
Can I try and track him?
You can give me, go ahead and give me a survival roll. So since 2 days have passed, give me it with disadvantage.
While he's doing that, another side question. In character, am I aware that if I solo the next fight and live, good things will happen?
Yeah,
Oh.
you do have that. You
Okay.
do have that information that if you single-handedly kill the next hostile creature / person you come across, you will become stronger.
Or there's a whole pile of them.
I got a 10.
A 10, try as you might, you can't find any scent or any trail of him whatsoever. You see his footprints go into camp, but you don't see anything leaving.
This concerns me. Our friend Cornelius is missing.
You don't think he was taken by the things?
I mean, he wasn't there when we fought the butterfly thing. So he could have left before that whole thing happened.
Maybe he decided he didn't want to make camp for the night and continued on to town.
That too. We were fairly close to town. He could have just decided to keep going. Like me, he has the girth. Traveling in small tunnels, not very comfortable.
So you guys doing anything else, or
Prepping to go to town.
okay? So who is? It's only going to be one travel roll to get back to town from where you were at. So who wants to do that? Who wants to lead everyone back safely?
I'm feeling quite confident that I can bring us back to town in one piece. I'll take the reins.
Amar walk up, tap him on the shoulder, and cast guidance. I'm sure you'll do fine.
I lift the gun, pointing at the back of his head. No.
Oh wow.
Encouragement.
I mean, if I get advantage from that, absolutely do it. I think for the travel roll, I'm going to rely on my stealth to quietly scout a little bit of distance in front of the group as we travel. My stealth it's not bad. It's not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. But I do have disadvantage on it because I'm wearing plate armor.
Okay.
Okay, let's hope that's the high run. Oh, okay. It was not. Well, it could have been a nat 20, but instead, it's a 9.
Okay.
That with the D4?
Oh, yeah, with a D4. Okay, it's a 10.
Okay.
In the percentile is a 46.
46 with a 10.
I don't want more of those little ant things.
Could be worse.
You
Come
say
back. They're raising a princess as well as a queen now.
that.
Rild is never going to allow Darian to lead again.
I mean, that's fair. So you begin to scout ahead a bit through, maybe about a good 20, 30 feet ahead of everyone else in the tunnel. When the ground beneath you begins to shake, and from behind all of you, you can begin to hear the crashing and rolling of the of the tunnel itself beginning to collapse.
So we didn't even make it out of the cave yet.
Mm-mm.
I will
Think it's
lead.
Think it's time to go.
And as it begins to collapse, you begin to see things, not things, two things, leaping from the walls. These good 15, 20 foot long worms jumping through the walls, from the walls, crisscrossing over each other and colliding into the other side as they begin to burrow, which is causing the tunnel itself to lose its structural integrity.
So this is on purpose.
Yeah. But not much you can do at the moment, as you need to run for your lives. Unless you want to be crushed by the cavern, well then that's up to you. So the way we're going to do this is we are going to do 2 group athletics checks to see if it's a success or a failure.
Would you accept acrobatics as well?
No, this is going to be athletics.
Alrighty.
This is the get out of dodge roll.
As we start to run, can I reach forward and touch World? Would that be possible?
Yes.
Cast guidance?
Yes. I'll say you could cast guidance.
So I'll cast guidance on World for the first round.
Said 2 rolls.
Yeah, let's do the first one. So the first group survival roll. So we'll go off of,
Survival or athletics?
I'm sorry, athletics. My bad.
Damn.
Am I using my athletics or Reaver's athletics?
Are you riding Reaver?
If we were setting out to travel, then I would be.
Yeah, then
mounted up,
you'll use Reavers then.
Not great. That's an 11.
12.
30, 20.
I'm thinking the guidance may have saved me here because what would have been a 13 is now a 17.
14.
Okay. So you guys begin to haul ass trying to get away from this, and you stumble a bit, you trip over a couple rocks, but you're able to keep pace as you remain uncrushed at the moment, but it's catching up to you at the moment. Those of you in the back of the group can feel the spray of smaller rocks or being flung towards you, hitting you in the back of the legs and in the lower back, letting you know that if you trip or if you stop for any brief moment, you are going to be overtaken.
This time I'll reach over and I'll touch Christiana for the guidance.
Okay. Let's do the second one.
That's better. Not by much, but it's still better.
That is not better.
14 for me.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, my dice are rolling low tonight.
Is that a dirty 20 or natural 20?
Not 20.
Okay.
15.
26.
15. What was that, Dorngal?
26.
26.
8.
8. All right, so that's 5 successes and 1 failure. So you guys pick up the pace, being influenced from the previous one, as the cave was the collapsing cave was right upon you. You're able to clear the entrance or the exit of the cave within seconds of it collapsing behind you. And as the dust and dirt begin to settle in the air, you see no sight of the worms themselves.
Is there a nearby tree?
From where you are at, no. What is nearby you, though, is a very large section of a meteor that has come to a halt and has embedded itself into the ground. Since you have people with passive perception, those of you with the eyes of an eagle can see that the ground around it has been almost poisoned and desecrated, as it's no longer this vibrant green and full of life, but now it's black and almost like an ichor-like substance bubbling around the meteor itself. Very foul smell permeating from the ground as well, a mixture of rotten meat and tar.
No thanks.
Can I make a nature or survival check to see if I can discern what the substance is? Or
Yeah,
is
go
it just-
ahead and give
or
me a
is it
nature
just
roll.
I'd like to as well. If
All
I
right.
can.
18.
I'm sorry, did you say survival or nature?
Whatever one you want to do.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's
Oh, no, I'm
one-
sorry. I said nature, didn't I?
Yeah, you said nature.
Yeah, nature.
Okay. Because if it's survival, it's plus 3 on that.
23.
23. It's some form of caustic slime that has began to flow from the base of this meteor. Though from the looks of it, its advancement has already halted and it's only about a 5-foot radius around the impact of the crater itself. Once it gets past like that limit line, the grass returns back to its vibrant green.
Can I take a branch and scoop some up?
So when you grab the branch and you begin to like poke into it, it like instantly eats away at this thing, just dissolving it on touch.
Interesting. Well, then I don't think we'll be able to get the space rock to take back to town unless you know a way not to get melted by the thing, the sludge there.
Whatever that stuff is, it's coming out of it. It's coming out from the meteor. I don't think we can safely get near it.
I think he's gonna look at Cristiano when he says this. He's like, isn't there like a group of wizards in the town? We can let them know. They got the magic stuff that they can do with the wiggling of the fingers and whatnot.
I think there's a lot of things that mages in town should be aware of.
Well, I mean, no one's going to be able to take it. And if they can, well, then that's a lot of crazy stuff. So, I mean, we know where it is. We let people know. We come back. We see if it's still here.
If we really want to mess with this thing, I can remember where it is. I can bring us back to it.
So can I. I'm very good with the maps and remembering where things are in the land.
Can I take one of my empty glass bottles and set the lip of it down like right on the edge of this stuff to see if it'll seep into the glass bottle, and so I don't have to actually get close enough to touch it myself?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
I can do that. Nope, I can't do that. That's a 1 for a total of 4.
Oh!
That's a 1 total of 4. All right, give me one moment. Trying to get something that
it's not like I was jumping into it. I was just kneeling down right at the edge and placing the glass bottle down.
I have a vision of the refrigerator scene from the Blob. when sacrificial teenager number 3 starts poking at the blob
sacrificial
while it starts
teenager number 3
when it starts defrosting.
So
about the most appropriate title that character has.
As you begin to reach out for this to try to like scoop up some of this caustic slime, you see a couple skulls kind of bubble up from the pool itself as a tendril lashes out at you.
Oh.
I don't think it's a surprise attack. No, I don't think a 15 hits you.
It does not.
All right, as it barely misses your hand as you drop the jar in the ooze, and just like the stick, it begins to dissolve, almost as if it's being broken down at a chemical level.
Dissolved glass. This shit's dangerous.
Don't think we should mess with
this. Does Dornville recognize the tentacles as the same ones from those other creatures?
They're not.
Okay.
Though you begin to see, like in the center of this ooze, it begins to bubble and almost vibrate with annoyance.
I would have ran up and grabbed like Therian by the nape of the neck, or the back of his armor, and pulled him back away from it.
Believe it or not the first time this has happened to me.
Oh, I believe it.
So you ran into Space Rock with corrosive ooze before?
We can talk as we leave. We're leaving now.
Hold on.
Hey, I would still say it.
I know. I know you would still say it, but just because you say it doesn't make it true. You guys are going to need to
I can hope.
you guys probably should update your character sheets to show full HP if you haven't yet.
I have my token, just isn't connected to my character sheet.
That's a damn lie.
I think the one that you keep copying and pasting is the one token that isn't actually connected.
Oof, give me a second.
Actually,
Yeah, I saw Christiana's update.
it's not updating.
No. I'm looking at it on a different page.
Oh,
Like I see 78 HP for Therian. Wait, why am I using this one? You guys are on a completely different map. My bad here. Yeah, I see everybody's HP except for Therian's because he's bad. I see 78 now for Therian. 78 out of 134.
It should be maxed. It's maxed on my character sheet.
Oh, wait, that was because that was temp HP. Never mind, I gotta fix that one.
Let me see here. Oh, that's because the attribute tied to it isn't set for HP for some reason.
That'll do it.
That's a goddamn lie. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna copy you all over because we're about to have some fun.
Oh no.
I just wanted to go back
All right,
to
so
town.
before we get into this, let's go ahead and take our first break for the nights. And as we do, we will continue to run our December giveaway for the second dice set that we are going to be raffling off here in the next hour. If you guys are just joining us, this is something we are doing for every show during the month of December. We gave away a dice set last night. We're giving away another one now. If you want to join it and you haven't yet, use exclamation point December. If somebody wants to spell that in chat for people. And it's also in the stream title as well. And when we get back, we will find out what exactly Therian has just upset and how many people are going to get cooked. So stick with us, guys. We will be right back. Okay, we are back. And we are about to have some fun here as Durngle, you feel your friend kind of grab your shoulder and brace you as you begin to see this strange looking mass of this black bulbous ooze begin to form. Multiple skulls begin to float up and like swim around the outside of it before sinking back down into its body, only to pop out in other areas. I think you guys can see that map now. So what I'm gonna need from everyone, I'm gonna need some initiative. Oh, you know what? I forgot to unmute you.
Yeah,
There we go.
this does look like somewhere where someone decided to try to eat a griffin.
Finally, a decent roll off this die.
As this creature rises up, Therion's just gonna call out to the group. You know, back when I was a keeper beneath Mount Barrel, we fought creatures like this on a daily basis. Don't worry about it. Let me show you what a dwarf can do. And hoist his axe off his back and roll a shitty initiative.
Give me a second. I need to pull a certain someone onto here. We're missing a certain companion.
Yeah.
There we go. This
Missing
dwarf
best
still
boy.
isn't dead. All right, so just waiting for Reeld or just waiting for Christian to put the initiative in.
Is it actually going to let me now?
No.
That's... There we go.
All right. Little close quarters combat here. Amelia, you can start us off.
Only I
Hey,
can take
look.
it. Given that Therion called out what he did, of course I didn't put the range on this thing. Creature, I will sidestep over here so I can reach out and touch him. And I will cast a 4th level spell for Death Ward, since he wants to fight this thing.
Okay, and what does Death Ward do? Death Ward, here we go. Oh, okay, so you're protected by from death the first time you drop to 0 HP. Is there anything else you're going to do?
Let's see, that's an action. What bonus action do I have? No, I think at that point I'm just going to. He called out that he's going to do that, so I'm more just step back here and let him do his thing. He claims to have this.
Okay. Rild.
Damn, I'm up already.
You got a 16.
Well, either way, I want to be nowhere near this thing. So
Oh yeah, let me zoom this in for y'all.
yeah,
So
that's no.
that's your friend.
No, it's not a friend.
against my better judgment, I kind of want to see what happens.
I like this idea. Go ahead. Oh, are you just gonna stand there and watch what happens?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready for a fight, but
The words from the dwarf were, "Stand back, I got this."
I mean, this is true.
Also, please remember the words of the player during the break.
No, I didn't hear
If
anything.
you step in, won't break my heart.
Nah, you're fine. You got this.
this will be a good lesson not to touch ooze that is poisoning the earth.
Okay. So on its turn, it doesn't make any movements, but instead you can see it begin to pull up some of the ooze from the ground underneath it, and it begins to like bubble up in the center, and then it just launches towards Therian. What is this? A 6 does not hit.
It does not.
And this globule that it fires at you, it goes for about a good 60 feet, and then it just splashes in the background. And you begin to hear like the sizzling and whatnot as it comes into contact with the earth and the grass behind it, as you can begin to see it eat away at what it touched. But it makes no movement out of where it's standing, and you go to Dorngal.
That was needed. I don't know what to do because this thing dissolves whatever the hell it touches. So that's not good. This is when being an attack-oriented caster is not fun. You know what? Since I'm right next to it, I'm going to try and do an erupting earth.
Okay.
And see if I can maybe bury it back into the ground so we can get away from it.
All right, choose a point that you can see on the ground. A fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube centered on that point. Each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw. Takes 3d12 bludgeoning damage, half on a save. Additionally, the ground in that area becomes difficult terrain. Okay.
I'm since it's liquidy, I'm hoping that the churning of the earth will sink it, and then we can GTFO.
Okay.
So damage roll. That's probably one of the worst rolls I've ever made. That is 12 points of damage total from 3d12. That is.
It's got to make a dex save.
Some janky nonsense.
It's not going to make a dex save, so it's going to take the full brunt here. How much damage did you say it took?
12 total.
12 total.
So the ground underneath it becomes difficult terrain, but I'm literally hoping the churning of the earth like sucks it in, and then I'm going to advise the party, maybe we need to retreat from this one. I don't think anything attack-wise can harm this thing. Yes? No? And then Dorngal is gonna back up.
Okay. And as you see the earth begin to turn and mold underneath it, it kind of just clings to the earth that's uprooted underneath it. There's no drainage or anything like that.
Dorngal still backs away.
Probably a good idea. Oh, that was Dorngal. Christiana.
30, 35, 40.
Do I?
And I'm going to park it right there.
Okay. So pretty much the entirety of the area that's around him is difficult terrain at the moment, as the earth has been upended underneath him. Arian.
I don't know how difficult terrain affects that thing. Just, you know, and I doubt anyone's gonna be dumb enough to actually go into it where the difficult terrain is.
Well, you say that.
Fingers crossed.
The aura that's around it, is that like ooze that's on the ground?
That's the corrupted earth underneath it. I unfortunately don't have an animated token for corrupted earth, so I just did what I could with it, the best I could.
You know, the great hammer of my grandfather would be quite handy right about now, I say as I look at my non-magical weapons that I'm pretty sure will be dissolved by this thing. I'm going to... You know what? It doesn't matter if my ammo is dissolved. I'm going to pull the heavy crossbow off my back.
Okay.
Hold it up and take a shot. See if this thing actually takes damage from these crossbow bolts.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Is my modifier on that? Oh, that's actually not bad. That is going to be a 24 to hit.
A 24 will hit.
Okay, and that will be 9 piercing damage.
9 piercing. Very good.
And I have to use my... yeah, I can't multi-attack with this. I have to reload it, so...
What kind of bolts is it firing? Is it just firing standard bolts?
It's just standard bolts. I didn't
Okay.
pick up any special ones before we left town.
All right.
Though that is on my list now. Yeah, that's all Therian can do. Reaver's going to go ahead and use his movement to go over here.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so
Therian's not that smart, though. He's
as
standing
you
his
see,
ground.
you see the bolt stick into it. There's a slight sizzle for a moment, but it doesn't dissolve.
Interesting. Okay. Good to know.
Amelia.
When the bolt hit, does it look like it was kind of just got stuck in there? Did it look like it actually hit it?
It looked like it hit it and did some damage.
I don't use a bolt, so I don't know if I know what to expect for how much damage it would do. So, I will. I'll keep waiting. I'm gonna wait and see what happens.
Okay. Rild.
Oh, actually, can I use my bonus action? I'll cast Shield of Faith on Therian as well,
Sure.
which gives him a +2 to AC.
Hey, Therian.
That'll be handy, because I'm about to do something dumb on my next turn.
That's always a good thing to hear. Oh, that's handy. I'm about to do something stupid.
And that is a concentration spell. So,
Okay.
So, how tall is this wall here?
If you were to climb it, it's like right there. It's about 6 feet.
Okay, so that's going to cost me 1 square of movement to get up.
Yeah, 1 square movement.
Okay, so okay, so I can get to there with a dash.
Oh man, you're just running all the way back there.
I'm getting to do what Rose never gets to do.
TFL?
I mean, Rose can run away, just
No,
not
no, no, no,
200
no.
feet.
Snipe.
That's a cool little animation.
Yeah, those are the little animation markers that I bought.
That's really cool. So yeah, that was my movement and action. Bonus action. You know what? Bonus action before I moved. Hunter's Mark. on it.
Funny enough, we've got a Hunter's Mark one too.
What?
Yeah, we
Do you
got
have a
exciting.
one?
we have a Hunter's Mark marker for the
Oh, look at
enemies.
that.
It's little reticles. That's awesome. Do you have a hex one?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I have a hex one. I have a Hunter's Mark.
Why is the one over Therian blocking everything out?
Oh,
It's not for me.
not for me either.
Are you zoomed in too much?
Or not enough?
Are you doing anything else, Real?
No, that's all I can do.
All right. So, the creature is going to lurch a little bit down towards our dwarf friend here, and is going to make 2 tentacle attacks against him. For the first one, I don't think a 12 hits.
12 does not.
Will a 17?
A 17 will not.
Okay, so 2 slashes of the tentacles come flying out of this ooze, and thankfully, either due to your ability to duck or from the enchantment, you are unharmed. And that is its turn. Dorngal.
They don't spin for me in roll 20.
Oh,
I'm sad.
Maybe it's a settings thing.
I don't know.
I did it. I just refreshed the page and everything corrected itself.
I did too, but it's not correcting, so I don't know what's going on.
There is a settings, enable animated graphics
Yeah.
that you may have turned off to conserve resources at one point.
I'll look for that in a second.
Yeah. No
Let's see. So he's fucking dumbass dwarf, not like, dude, it's like it melted glass. Why would you try and attack something that can like melt a non-reactive substance? Like,
and yet, not melting a crossbow bolt.
I'm not close enough to see that. Crap. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do spike growth.
Where are you doing spike growth at?
Let's see, 20-foot radius. Literally the center of the black orb. That's a 20. Oh wait, no, that's 10 foot. So let's say. If I center it here, that should keep Therian on the edge of it and not be affected. Correct?
So there was something you were saying last night, Fox. You and Raven were saying that the radius indicators on.
So if you drop a token
Mhm.
and tell it 20 feet, it's completely wrong. It loses its marbles.
Only 20 feet?
Anything.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't. It's the aura settings, as far as I can tell, are a lie.
Well, the aura is based on the 5-foot square the token is in, or whatever square the token's in.
All right, so for the plant growth,
Like you would have to take like an established marker that has a 20-foot radius and drop it.
Yeah, there's a pile of assets if you've got the Roll20 premium account that will give you 20-foot radius templates to drop on the map.
well, I have my own radius. I have my own 20-foot radius template.
That
Yeah,
will
so
probably be 1,000% better than using an aura.
The reason why the auras are a bit finicky, as Azarin said, is when you put an aura on a token, it's emanating out that distance from the token,
Yeah.
whereas something with a 20-foot radius has a 40-foot diameter. Something that is emitting a 20-foot radius actually takes up 45 feet of squares because it's emanating 20 feet out from the center square.
So if you're centering it here,
The geometry checks out.
so this is a 20-foot radius.
Nope.
No, that's a 20-foot diameter.
If you make each side 2 squares long, you'll be fine. Each of the points.
What are you saying?
The 4 cardinals are supposed to be 2 squares wide.
Oh, exactly 2 squares wide.
Yeah.
What is it? 1 square right now?
Yeah.
It would help if I can see the squares better.
I'm digging these animated graphics. I'm gonna have to buy this pack. You're gonna have to let me know after the game, Brojan, what you bought, because these are totally tits. I think that is one more.
Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, that's about 20 feet.
Yeah,
So if you want
Yeah.
to center it here,
yeah. I want to keep Therian on the outskirt of the radius, but keep the monster in it.
okay. That's the poison animation, but it's green. It's now plants.
Yep. It's
It
better than
rains, it
using
counts.
the
It works.
Cthulhu-like tentacles that I ended up using.
Yeah. So that one's called animated AoE elements. And it's got things for like fire and smoke and poison and color spray and all that fun stuff. It's got cones and AoEs. All right, so you cast plant growth under this thing.
Spectral, yep. And I'm going to scream at Therian. My friend, I don't think we can fight this thing without the special weapons. No, maybe we should fight another day. Yes.
Christiana.
So we are actually going to fight this and help out. Okay.
Crowding that joke.
So
I mean, technically, none of us have done damage to it yet.
No, you've done damage.
Well,
Yep.
Therian has, but not the rest of us, right?
No, Dorngal has.
Dorngal
Oh.
shot it, and it took
Oh.
damage.
Therian shot
No,
it,
that's Therian shot it.
and I made an earthquake underneath
This
it.
is true.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
I,
yeah. True.
And I put lots of spikes around it.
Yeah, and and those close enough did see that the impact of the crossbow bolt was sound. It did do damage.
okay, well, we're gonna do all the things.
Okay.
So that's going to start with that's a bonus action, right?
So for the indicators, are all of them supposed to be 2 squares wide? When like for anything, So
if
so
it's
Just
if
mine
it's 10,
specifically
if it's 10
because
feet,
it's
it should be 1 square wide.
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect.
just because the radius also doesn't, if you put the aura marker out, it doesn't give a really good idea of where the hard edges of the
Mhm.
where can I stand, where can I not stand. Oh god, how do I warlock?
That's a good question.
I'm figuring you're going to want to charge, attack, and then Eldritch Smite.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I'm supposed to put up a hex or anything first.
Hex will take your action.
What about Hexblade's Curse?
Does Hex? I thought Hex was a bonus action.
It's a bonus
I'm
action.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
cast.
Hex is a bonus action. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I can do. So,
Are you hexing it?
yeah, we're gonna hex it.
And I just get to use all the cool things tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's our goal here.
Like,
Oh,
you
that's
have
cool.
new animated tokens? I want to see the debuff list.
There you go.
Cast paralysis.
And then we are going to Pike Charge and Eldritch Smite.
Pike Charge and Eldritch Smite. Very well.
Good combo to work with.
Yeah, I kind of figured that, you know, we needed something like this, even if it wasn't animated, even if it was just standstill, instead of just putting like the little foot marker
The
on
little
everything. Yeah.
The little markers. It's like, no, how bad is this thing screwed up?
Oh, and what are you hexing it against?
Strength.
Strength? Okay. I'll mark that down on the
'Cause
sheet.
I'm not okay with that idea.
I like the way they look when they overlap. It's very
I
appealing.
know.
It's very appealing. That's where I want to be.
It's like, yeah, they overlap when the skulls are in the reticles.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling a Rill to take the shot.
That is a 27
Yep.
to hit.
That will most definitely hit.
Okay, so
This thing's
that,
armor class is crap.
Pike Charge, and then a D6 necrotic, and then yes, in Warlock dice. 4, right? 4. Yes. I need another one. That'll do. Not bad. Do you want any of the damage split out?
Nope. You're only if it is poison.
Okay, nope. I got none of that. 16, 20, 30, 40, 45.
All right, and you charge for and you just bring the pike into it with just like a slamming blow. And you could see for a moment it kind of shuffles and struggles to hold its form, letting you know that it's taken the full brunt of the damage.
And the best part is, I've got another attack for it. Does an 18 hit it?
And 18 hits.
19. Sorry.
19 hits.
And another 14 on the second hit.
Very nice. Theory, are you going to do anything else? Are you going to do
Nope.
anything else? Okay. Therian.
Well, now that this thing is in melee range, I'm going to toss my heavy crossbow over my shoulder. Don't need that anymore. And pull out my axe. Make some swings. at the risk of potentially damaging the axe, but that's battle. Come on.
That's why you have blacksmiths.
Something's gonna get damaged.
Yeah, something is going to get damaged. That's a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
That will be, what is this? It's a D12. Who uses D12s?
Barbarians.
That will be 16 slashing damage.
Very nice.
And I'm going to slap it with my unwavering mark.
Which one is that?
That is the one that gives it disadvantage against anyone other than me if it's within 5 feet. And I get to do a fancy attack on my next turn if it does damage to someone else.
Yes, that is right. I have a disadvantage marker as well.
Nice.
I love it.
And I will follow that up with another swing.
Wait, I want to see what this looks like from your screen. Do each of them show like the name of it?
Not on here, not if I mouse over it or anything.
Oh, okay.
But all of them are named the specific aura if I need to take a look at what it has.
Okay.
Second attack is an 18 to hit.
18?
Yep.
18 will hit.
That will be 14 piercing damage.
14, very nice.
14. And then we're going to action surge and do another attack. That is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
And is going to be another 14 slashing damage.
Okay, so that with that final blow, this thing can no longer hold its form as it begins to bubble and pop for a moment, and it almost looks like it's going to explode around you, and then it just falls to a flat, lumpy pile of goo at your feet.
I mean, he possibly could have had this.
Just taking those
Still
off.
have one more attack. Now I know what all the fighters in the Tuesday game feel like.
Wait until you get like 4 attacks, and then it's like,
If I had gotten that level up, that would have bumped my extra attack up to an additional 2 instead of just 1.
it's a good life, I'll tell you.
But as it falls to your feet, just burbling and spurting a little bit, everything seems to be calm once again.
You see, I told you I had plenty of experience against creatures like this. Not a problem. Not a problem for a dwarf.
And as you're boasting,
Oh, God.
Christiana, what's your passive perception? Because I know Therian's not going to see this.
My 9 doesn't see it?
Your 9 isn't going to see it.
11.
You actually will see it. Burbling up from one of the from the mass of whatever this creature was, you see what looks to be remnants of a leather tunic embroidered with one of the hunting badges that belongs to one of the numerous hunting guilds in Innsmeet.
Gonna take my pike and carefully lift it out of the goop.
Okay. It seems that the moment this thing lost its shape and everything, the burning and dissolving has seemed to stop around you.
Well, that's good. It seems it ate something. At least one of member of one of the hunting guilds.
Or perhaps
Jenna
when
RJ,
that
thank you for that follow.
big rock fell from the sky. Someone was unfortunate enough to be standing right underneath it.
You know what the odds for that happening are?
Not impossible.
What's not impossible?
Oh, hello.
As you hear Cornelius now behind all of you.
You weren't captured by the ants.
Oh no, my apologies, miss. I decided to take the initiative and visit that wonderful town of yours while the rest of you were making camp. Decided to kill two birds with one stone, as you see that he's leading a small cart full of supplies and multiple mounts with him.
That's good. Unfortunately, we were put to sleep and robbed while you were away.
Oh, that is... Wait. Put to sleep? Robbed? Oh my. Are all of you okay?
Well, it was a very nice 2-day nap.
Yes,
It's been 2 days.
I've had a very eventful 2 days.
Of course it's been 2 days.
But I believe my 2 days may have been a little more exciting as I won everything you see behind me in a hand of cards.
No,
What do we see behind him?
There are numerous horses behind him that he's acquired a mount for each of you. And then one of them is tied to a very large, not tied, but set up to a large cart that is carrying boxes of supplies. You can see inside, a couple of them are small crates of healing potions. That James fellow is a very poor loser.
Do we have any idea who James is?
James is the local apothecary in Ensmeet. Everybody knows him as Jimmy Bimington.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, what was that surname again?
Jimmy Bimington.
Yep.
A relation to
Damn, not
another
being able to act off of player knowledge.
another relation to a very famous gnome, a gnome family, I should say.
No. Not okay.
They get around. We still have the things we need to drop off.
We can. Plenty of room in the carts. It's best to head out as soon as we can, as a lot of other teams are heading out there as well.
How
Where
far
are
away? How far away are we from Ensmeet?
From Ensmeet, if you were to go down the road, you probably an hour.
With the cart, with the pulled cart.
Well, if you were to go back with the pulled cart and everything, it'd probably be about half hour at the most.
Right, because I don't want to lug more than what we have, and we have a lot of stuff still.
Mm-hmm. Well, understandable, but what he's saying is you could put it in the back of the cart and there'll be plenty of room.
Okay, so
It's one of those like expansive carts that the hunting parties take out.
Is he suggesting that we just dump the stuff in the cart and just head to the jungle?
Yeah,
or head back to town.
No, to the jungle. He went to the town to procure the stuff for you while all of you were making
gotcha.
camp.
And where are you guys trying to head to?
We're heading to Ancient Ruin to kill more of those black blobby things.
To be fair, we are going to investigate the meteor crash, and if any undead creatures or monstrosities wander the area around it, it is our job as hunters to put them down.
There's undead.
Oh, that's what this one's vision said.
So we're not going back to town?
All right, up to you, my friends.
Is there a reason you needed to go?
Well, I mean, thank you for the supplies, but I was going to try to restock up on special ammos.
Oh, ammunition. Fellow firearm user, I see.
It's kind of hard to miss the giant rifle.
I don't want to assume. Maybe you found that on your travel. Well, I'm a bit of a crack shot myself. Maybe I can rustle up some of this special ammunition for you. Is there any in particular that you were looking for?
Rattle off a list of explosive, poison, various forms of
He walks over to
whatnot.
He walks over to one of the trunks that he has up in the cart. As he opens it, he begins to rustle around. You begin to hear like the clanking of various bullets and whatnot inside. Justin Kyle, thank you for the follow. Goes, Scoops up a handful and he walks over and he's like, well, I've got these, about the right caliber. I've got these 7 fire bullets at the moment. I can most definitely make you more as we camp. It's quite a specialty and a pastime of mine. That way you do not need to pay, and it doesn't put a hamper on any of your travels.
He'll inspect them, and I'm sure they're pretty great. So probably don't see much resembling excitement from Rild like ever, but if you did, this would be the moment.
Like making like little giddy cheering noises.
Amelia probably piped up, goes, that's his excited noise.
So while that conversation is happening, if this ooze has become benign at this point, I would approach the piece of, I assume, meteor that was nearby, that it was like coming from, and just take out my pickaxe and start breaking off pieces.
Okay. Can I get a strength check from you?
You sure can. It was almost a nat 20. Instead, it will be a 19.
19. All right. It takes you some time. This meteor is pretty hardy, but you're able to get off a sizable chunk from the meteor. And as you do, it's like ice cold to the touch.
Does it look like metal?
It definitely feels like metal.
Tyrion is just like hulking it over and tossing it in the cart and going back, breaking off a chip, hulking it over, tossing it in the cart, paying no attention to anything else.
Once we get closer to our destination, I can summon Samantha and make our travels much faster.
Is that your betrothed?
No. Yep. Why would I summon a... I don't have a betrothed, but why would I summon a betrothed to make myself go faster?
I don't know. I only speculate about things I don't know about. Because you say Samantha, and we're trying to get you things to get betrothed. I think
No.
betrothed.
Samantha is my ship's name.
You actually give it a woman's name.
No, that is actually her name. Or that's what she told me to call her anyway.
Your ship talks to you?
Don't all living creatures talk?
Our ship is alive.
Oh, that's right. You don't know of our ships. Yes, they are types of creatures who lend themselves to our travels. They sail upon solar winds.
On what now? Oh, wait. I nat 20'd that check.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
of course.
you're the astrology nerd. You know what he's talking about.
Makes perfect sense. Why not?
Are you sure you picked the right patron?
I don't understand. Your ship is alive.
You'll understand once you see her and talk to her.
Leviathan from Farscape.
Pretty much.
That's what went through my head. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, since you went through the trouble to get the mounts and the cart, we should make our way back to the ruins. Yeah.
That was what I was thinking. I have a mount secured for all of you. Though anyone who wishes to drive the cart may join me in it. But unless we have any other pressing matters, why not be on our way?
Is there one of the mounts that looks like it's more nimble? Like, it doesn't need to be stocky. He wants something that can move through the brush easily.
Yeah, they all
faster.
They all look like they're meant for distance and not really load bearing, to say the least.
I'll try to pick the one that I think is best colored for blending into the surroundings.
Amelia's gonna look for either a black one or a white one.
They're
I don't think there's one that'll work for me.
No.
I'm surprised anybody hasn't just climbed on Kristrana's back and used her as a mount.
I mean, I've thought about it a couple times, but she can spear and eldritch smite, and that sounds like that hurts.
I mean, I think she's pulling the cart. Come on. Just kidding.
So everyone saddles up on their horses and you begin to ride off. And before we get into the next segment here with your travels, let's go ahead and take our second break for the night and continue do one last call for tonight's December Kraken Dice giveaway. If you guys are just joining us, we are giving away a set of dice every episode that we are doing throughout the month of December. Thank you, Fox, for posting that. That Imgur link right there is going to show all the dice that we are giving away. Today we are giving. Oh, it's only the one that we're giving away today. So it's the Copper River dice from Kraken Dice, as I said. And if you want to add that to your dice hoard, as there's a possibility that everybody in chat is a wonderful dice goblin, go ahead and hit !December. And when we get back, we will draw tonight's winner.
How was I supposed to know everyone will fall?
Alrighty, we
So-
are back.
Indeed.
No, we're not. Stop lying.
Damn, you caught me.
I don't see anything.
I guess I'm going to jail. So, before we continue, let's go ahead and do that drawing for tonight's dice winner. Master
We're giving
of the
away a
bots.
Minotaur.
Right, that's me, I guess. That's
Right.
doing that. I was completely distracted by designing a weapon for my character's backstory that I thought under no circumstances would I ever have access to. But now I have 3 wishes. Yes, okay. We are going to draw the winner here. If your name is drawn, you obviously need to be present to hear it or see it. And you need to tell us what you won so that we can confirm you are actually paying attention to what's happening. So let's go ahead and close it and draw it. And of course, it's Kyle, who is not present at the moment because he fell asleep. But he did say re-roll if he was going to be drawn. Knew it was going to be him. Senshi,
Julian,
you're here,
Woo!
right?
Yeah.
What did you win?
I hope he's here. He just rigged.
Rigged. Sorry, that's not the correct answer. We're going to have to re-roll.
You're obviously a bot.
Obviously.
There's the answer.
Yes.
Hashtag
Yes, you
rigged.
did indeed win dice. Normally, I would say, what's your Discord username so I can pass it along to Zoro, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is. So I will pass that information along to Zoro, and she will be in contact with you in regards to getting you those dice. Congratulations, sir.
Why are
If
you all acting like you know this person?
Well, I'm actually just going to give Zoro my shipping information. So thanks for
truth comes
blowing my
out.
cover, Shadow Fox.
Well, you know
I was
what?
gonna
I had
say-
to call you out because I was going to give her my shipping information.
I was gonna say I kind of know they're a real person because we like verbally shitpost at one another constantly.
I mean,
through Final
we
Fantasy.
literally play in the same
Yeah.
game together on Saturdays. So I think they're real. I can't confirm, but I'm pretty sure they are.
It's a
If you
sophisticated
missed
computer
out-
program.
If you missed out on this giveaway or entered and you were not drawn, do not worry. We have plenty more December giveaways to come in literally every show we do this month. So keep an eye out for those. We will be announcing, obviously, when the shows go live and the inclusion of giveaways on Twitter and Discord and stuff. So keep an eye out.
Only law-abiding small dragons.
Uh-huh.
So
I mean, Snick can agree to this. Yeah, Snick.
110% villain. So yeah. So never sus. Since you are now traveling on mounts, travel time is now doubled, and your encounter rolls are now halved. So instead of making 4, you will only have to make 2 a day, lessening the danger as things tend to stay away from mounted hunters, either due to the thunder of hooves or just the increase the size of everyone for intimidation value. But just like we've been doing, I'm going to need somebody to take the lead in beginning to lead everybody to your next leg of the journey as you make your way towards the jungles.
I will do it if only to stop Therian from doing it.
I'll cast guidance on him if I can get close enough with the horse.
Okay.
I'm going to go with nature on this one.
Alrighty.
With the guidance is going to be 22.
22. All right. Go ahead and give me a percentile roll here.
61.
61. So not much happens during this leg of the journey. It's quite boring. Some of you begin to try to fight off just falling asleep out of lack of entertainment.
Oh, there's no fight there. It just happens.
Yeah, you see Dorgal, not Dorgal, but you see Therian kind of already hunched over in the saddle on Reaver's back. Reaver every now and then having to adjust the way that he's running to keep the old dwarf on saddled and not just buck him off.
We should just have like big utility straps that once he passes out, you just fully strap him in.
But the first half of the day is, while boring, a very welcome piece given what you've encountered recently. You don't see any more meteorites in the earth or any caustic slimes threatening to melt away anything that it touches. So you don't really see many animals either. A lot of the wildlife is still in hiding from the incident that happened a couple nights ago. Thrilled, if you want to continue leading on, you may.
Yeah. I mean, didn't you say it was going to take only like an... Oh,
No, that was to get back to town. That was to go back to town. No, you guys are going the other way.
Switch of dice here. I am going to do survival.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 25.
Okay.
Let's see here. A 0 on the 10 die is just
Zero.
zeros. Okay, so this one's 40.
40. Okay. So again, nothing really jumps out or tries to hinder your travel. I'm losing my words. But it begins to rain. Not too heavy at the moment. It's a light rain. But from the looks of the clouds, it looks this rain may stick around for a day or so. If I can find my rain sound effect. I have way too many sound effects.
Is the trail, like, we're on a trail, right?
Yeah, you guys are still on a traveled path. This isn't like you're trying to go off the beaten path and find your own way or take a shortcut. So
And the trail is packed down enough that
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it turning into mud.
yeah, you're still within some of the more traveled areas of the wildlands. So there's no threat of your horses breaking their ankles or the wagon wheel getting stuck in some mud.
Okay, yeah, then just continue on.
Okay. So at this time, the sun would begin to set if you could see it, if not for the clouds. So you could keep on going for another leg, or you can break for camp.
I think that would depend on whether or not I've seen a really good spot to set up camp, like an ideal spot, or if I know of one nearby.
You can either give me a survival roll or a nature roll. I'm
17?
sorry, survival or history. Not nature, history.
Okay, so if it has to go off of survival, then that's a 16.
16. You know that if you were to travel probably another half hour, there's a small burrow that you've used in past hunts that would provide enough shelter from the elements for your group to rest up for the night.
And yeah, I would try to lead the group there unless they specifically want to continue to press on.
What says the group?
A
Dornbill's
quite
good
loud
with-
snore.
I'm good to keep going.
Yeah, Dornbill's good to follow.
Okay. So, Rild, you lead everybody to this burrow, and climbing inside with the amount the amount of people that you have and the size of a couple of them, it's a bit tight, but it's much better than sleeping out in the rain.
And I'll go out and try to get food and whatnot.
And as you walk out, Cornelius kind of like waves you off. You don't need to do that, old boy. Some of the things that I picked up was some meat and cheeses and vegetables, enough to provide us with some hearty meals on our travels. No need to go get soaking wet to find a couple jackrabbits.
There's a mixture of happy that there's meat and cheeses, but sad to not go hunt.
Sad because he can't go kill something.
But I'll go back in.
Okay. So as the cooking fire and everything is being set up, it warms the burrow up to a toasty level. You will definitely not go cold tonight. As he begins to offload some of the boxes that he brought from town, containing the various meats and what's not. Is there anyone who wants to go ahead and attempt to cook, or are you going to trust it to him? If you attempt to cook, if somebody in the group attempts to cook and it's a successful roll, you have bonuses for the next day.
I guess I can.
Okay.
Can we assist?
Yeah, if you want to help, you can most definitely assist, so it will be a survival check with advantage.
Take that.
I'm glad somebody else spoke up because I was just about to.
That's a dirty
Nobody
20.
wants that.
Dirty 20, nice.
I incinerated the last rabbits.
They were only a little bit charcoal.
And tried to poison us. According to Amelia. Because she don't trust no one.
So you make a nice little meal with a bit of steak with melted cheese put on top of it, and nice little side salad for those of you who want vegetables. But it's an enjoyable meal. It definitely warms you up and fills your bellies. So everybody will be getting that +2 bonus again for the next 24 hours. This time the ants aren't, well, maybe. This time you're not going to be put to sleep for 2 hours, or 2 days, I should say.
So this +2 is to ability and saves?
Abilities and skill checks.
Okay.
Ability checks and skill checks.
Okay.
As you currently have pretty much a well-fed buff. And as everyone begins to settle down for the nights, is anyone doing anything specific before they go to sleep? Like maybe drawing from a deck? I don't know.
Wow.
No.
I mean, I've got it right here.
I mean, there's only one person who knows of the deck.
That's true. And I do.
I think you guys saw him draw from the cards. I don't think he hid that.
No, he didn't
No?
hide
Did
it,
not
but
see
I
that.
mean, like nothing really happened, right?
Yeah.
He drew from the cards, looked at them, put them back, stuffed the box in his bag.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got a wish ready to go, but I have to run the weapon by you first.
I mean, as far as
Westgate, thank you for the follow.
as far as we know, it's just like a weird, box with some, cards in it. They could be tarot cards for all we know.
Like, those of you who did get a look at it, they definitely do look like tarot cards.
Yeah.
Right, who wants to play Go Fish?
Who wants their fortunes read?
Do you have any moons? Megan has all the moons.
Do you have any voids? Go fish.
I think Rogue would probably be picking Cornelius's brain about munitions and how to make better munitions and stuff.
Okay.
Pointing out that we have lots and lots of gems that could be used potentially.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you and him spend a good portion of the night conversing back and forth to one another about the creation of ballistic ammunition and possible uses for the gems and other items that you have come across in the wilds. Go ahead and give me, what would that go off of here?
I am proficient with Tinker tools if you're talking about actually making something.
Since you do have the Tinker's tools and you are proficient with them, let's go off a intelligence roll for this one with the with the Tinker's tools bonus here.
That's probably not going to do it. 12.
12? Okay, so
wait. I get to actually add my
plus
proficiency,
2.
right?
Yeah, you add the proficiency of the Tinker's
Oh,
tools.
okay. So that's not nearly as bad as I thought, because proficiency is what, 4, and then plus 2, 6, so 18.
18. That's even better. So I was going to say that your conversation didn't lead to any breakthroughs, but when you mentioned the gems, he begins to theorize maybe not making the entire bullet out of the gems, but just the tips themselves. Noting that gemstones and crystals seem to have a bit of resonance with enchantments, and maybe you can craft stronger bullets if you were to make gemmed bullet tips.
All right. He's also had this idea for a little bit about given Amelia's skill sets, whether or not she'd be able to imbue any of her damage dealing into ammunition.
It's possible, but most ways that the bullets are created, they're either imbued from an arcane user, normally a wizard or a sorcerer that has the ability to create magical items as it falls underneath the magic item creation rules. But yeah, because what is Amelia?
Would it be something like I could use a divine strike type of thing? So that's an imbued into weapon thing, but it'd have to be specially used in order to get into someone else's weapon.
Yeah, because the things would be infusing fire or acid or something like those types.
My strength is necrotic.
What class are you?
Death cleric.
Death cleric. I mean, it's possible. You may be able to infuse spell slots to give a little necrotic kick to a bullet. It's definitely something you would have to experiment with.
That was my plan.
So after that conversation has ended, because I don't want to interrupt it, just in case.
Okay.
Versus that DC that you set for me in chat of 15, I rolled a 4 on my wisdom check. So when we're all sitting there relaxing, having our dinner, Therion's going to call out to the group, who would like to volunteer to help me test out a theory that I have, as he's pulling a box from his bag.
And
What's your theory?
yeah, you see him pull out the that gemstone box that you had found in the Queen's Hoard a couple days back.
You're a horrible person, Fox.
No. The dice are horrible.
Yes, blame the dice.
Pulled two good cards. Now he wants somebody to pull the bad one.
So you want to tell fortune? Yes.
Well, I was looking at these earlier when we found them, as I pulled the deck out of the box. And I felt invigorated by what I saw. I would like to know if that was just an effect on me, or if others feel invigorated as well. So if a volunteer would like to look at a card from this deck, I thought I would present the opportunity.
Okay, boys and girls. This is what happens when you have an 18 wisdom, but you have a 13 intelligence. Wisdom is knowing better than to stick the fork into the socket. Sticking the fork in the socket is because why not?
Yeah, and this scenario is what happens when a character that has neither wisdom nor intelligence gets the deck.
Let's see. So with a 7, Dorngold will volunteer to pull a card from this tarot deck.
I had to roll for that too, but I rolled a dirty 20, so I'm not touching the deck.
I mean, if everybody wants to draw a card, I'm not going to argue.
Me, the player, does not want to pull the card, but Dorngold, my character, thinks the deck is benign because nothing happened to Therion. So it's basically, he thinks it's like a fortune telling deck. So he's just like, okay, whatever.
That is a fair point.
That is true.
Trojan, to draw, odds or even.
Do you want to? Are you asking me odd or even?
I'm asking you odd or even to draw.
Odd.
See, I want to draw, but my character is skeptical of everything.
All right, so Dorngal, you're drawing a card from the deck. Where are you drawing it from?
Give me a second. Is he asking me to draw a card, or he's asking me to draw more than one card?
You just said
He's just holding the deck out to you and has stated that when he drew the 2 cards that he did, he felt invigorated by them.
All right.
So it's up to you.
This could be the end of my character. So
No,
if it is,
So
So
I
I'm
took-
making-
There's no instant death.
the auto death cards are taken out.
oh, they are okay. I was about to say, this is the end of my
no.
character. It's been fun, guys.
This is not a full
I'm
deck.
about-
This is
I'm
not a
about
full
to
deck
do
of
it.
many things.
I'm about to do it dumb.
Like the bad things are still in here, just not auto death.
Oh, that's not good.
What'd you get?
Dorngold's gonna pull 3 cards from the deck.
Ooh.
Where are you pulling these 3 cards?
He's going to alternate from the top and the bottom. So top,
Right,
bottom, top.
Bottom, top. Okay.
Your warlock knows better.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it bad that part of me hopes that you get 3 really good cards so that everyone else is convinced that this is just a good deck?
Nope.
Nah,
Because I kind of secretly hope for that too.
Hexblade Warlock is side-eyeing
So-
that deck really hard.
First, you draw a card, and it's got a key on it. And the card shines for a moment and then vanishes from your hands. But in exchange for that card, you are now holding on to a brand new obsidian axe. and as as it rests in your palm, you can feel the surge of nature itself running through your body. With this axe, once a day, you may use it to cast Summon Animal.
Ooh.
It is also a +1 axe.
Nice.
You got some really good pulls here. The second card you pull is that of a throne. You gain proficiency in the persuasion skill, and you double your proficiency bonus on checks made with that skill. In addition, you gain rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere in the world. However, the keep is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear out before you can claim the keep as your own. Did you get what I think you got? And then you pull a strange card of a knight.
God.
As
Wow.
you stand there and you're staring at this card, and you feel a tug on your leg. Oh no, I'm sorry, because it's the same race as you. You feel a clasp on your shoulder. As now standing next to you is a bear folk with a great sword strapped to his back.
He's gonna start talking to him in Bearfolk. He's like, "Oh, brother, where did you come from?"
I have come to serve you, my lord.
I'm no royalty. I am a man of earth.
Well, man of earth, so long as breath fills my lungs, my sword is yours. As you have service of a 4th level fighter now.
I think at this point, Athenia's curiosity would come over her.
There's so few good cards left in the deck.
I know.
So it seems that my theory was quite correct. This deck of cards bestows wonderful gifts upon us.
Now, can I get an Arcana check to know about decks of many things? Because it's not.
You could give me an Arcana roll.
Because it's not a typical druid thing a druid would know about. Because it's literally of like a wizardly item.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have studied anything about this?
All of you who saw this happen can give me Arcana rolls if you'd like.
Oh, so that's a dirty 20.
I did an
14.
Arcana roll as well as before, and I think I recalled information about decks similar to this being in existence. So it was obvious to me that it was a magical deck, but the extent of it was whoosh.
I got a 14.
So because of the +2 bonus from
Oh.
food.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
20.
right. So actually, it's a 22.
16.
Christiana?
That gives me a 21.
Apparently all of you are like community college course students on arcane magic. As you see these cards pulled and these effects take place, it just clicks inside your mind that Therian is in possession of a deck of many things. An item that is chaos incarnate, as the cards can hold wonderful gifts for those who draw from it, but it can also be a terrible curse as well.
You have a deck of curses, it seems.
Terry likes
Versus.
just putting that away. That not every card in there is going to be good.
It's been wonderful so far.
Yes,
don't think
and then
we're
your luck
cursed.
will run out.
My luck never runs out.
Okay.
I draw
you
5
keep telling
cards.
yourself that.
Do,
I throw
do
the whole
we,
deck in the air.
do we know that it's about 50-50 good versus bad? Okay.
Because decks of many things vary.
Yeah. I know a shaman who spoke of such a thing. There are several in the world. Some of great detriment to the world around them. This one might be more of the friendlier kind. Don't have good word for not end of world. But I caution you, my friend. These things, they are fickle. They do not respect the one that chooses to think they are the master. Uh, you may think it is good. I extremely lucky. But I do not want to touch again. You might think um, it is great boon, and it might be, but I warn you, uh, take caution with this thing. It might be your downfall.
You know, this is not the first time that an item I have been picked up has said
Tiger.
to be my downfall. But I am still standing, and quite proudly at that. I will take my chances when I feel that it suits. However, I do very much appreciate the warning from you.
Yes, like I said, this one seems to be not the more deadlier kind that I have been warned about that exist in the world. But you take your chances with this thing. Um, just I ask that if you choose to use, you let us know so that way we can get safe distance. Yes.
Yes, of course. We are a group, after all, and we have each other's backs, and this boon that we have found is, of course, a group boon. So if any of you ever desire to pull a card, simply say the word, and it will be presented to you. This is not something to be sequestered away for one. It is gifts for all.
Speaking of gifts for all, this she's gonna pull out the wand. Like this wand was in our pile as well. It will it detects enemies. Might be useful in some watches. So I think we should pass it around throughout the night.
Interesting. Is it like a wondrous item? I can just grab it and use it.
Yeah, should be.
Let me see.
I don't know.
It requires attunement.
Oh. It does require attunement, so I guess someone would have to sit with it for an hour to be able to use it.
Yep.
But I don't think this is best in my hands, so whoever wants it.
Think maybe our friend here, the Rid. You seem sometimes to be a little overly precautious. Maybe this wand satisfies your anxiety, no?
Prefer to use my own eyes. May be useful for those of us less observant.
Who might you be referring to?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
Neither does Therian. It's well over his
I
head.
believe that.
They look up. Are you sure, brother?
I don't have use for such things.
Very well. So she's going to turn directly to Therian and Christiana, like, which one of you would like it?
Well, I'm quite adept at seeing things as they try to sneak up, so it is all
No, he's
yours,
not.
Christiana.
Uh-huh. We've seen that.
My eyes have
Leave that-
never failed me.
That's not true.
And as you guys are like drawing your cards and talking amongst one another, Cornelius has been busy after his talk with Rild, fiddling with his tools, as you see that he creates this iron cat.
Oh,
And
what now?
as he runs an iron cat, just like a iron mountain lion, and then he just runs his hand over the top of the head, and you see the eyes just like begin to glow with life.
Huh. That's
Is he a battlesmith now?
As he pats it on the head, he's like, "Go do what you were supposed to do." And the cat just begins to walk out.
Yeah, I thought the automaton was battlesmith.
It is a battlesmith thing, but this isn't because he's an artificer.
Oh.
Interesting.
He's got friends in high places.
cool.
So that,
Curious.
that one will last for the nights before it breaks down, but
Grounds like I call bullshit.
I want to recount.
NPCs can be whatever they want.
Nope, because it is not the Iron Defender. It is a kit that he used to build one.
I was gonna say it could potentially be the Artificer Infusion, just flavored differently, homunculus.
No, that's his little floating orb. That's his
Yeah,
homunculus.
the homunculus is
Oh,
very
okay.
specific. Yeah.
No, this is just a build kit that he had. It's a temporary watchdog, and then it breaks down after 8 hours.
Artificers helping artificers.
Like you do.
Seems reasonable. I mean, why not?
No,
Artificers
you
gotta
know, he
stick
doesn't.
together.
He doesn't have both, Groudon. No, he makes the cannons.
Oh.
No, this is just him assembling it. It's like he had an erector set. He was just building it.
You got the pieces to RoboKitty.
Yeah, he bought a RoboKitty Gundam model and built it while you guys were talking. But
Love
he informs you that everyone can get a full night's rest as his cat will stand watch.
How will it alert us if there is a problem?
It'll howl.
Huh. Neat.
I will trust you that this metal cat will suffice as a watch.
Box.
But have it not come too close to me. It gives me what's the humans say, the heebie-jeebies.
Well, it won't come anywhere near you. It's outside.
Like Dorngold is like literally like weirded out by this metal cat. It's like it's totally not natural. Cats are not supposed to be made of metal.
There is a monster in the new Tome of Beasts that is this gigantic, like bipedal, cat-like creature that spawns from a house cat that gets pissed off too much.
Oh,
Dear
God.
Lord.
So literally every house cat eventually
Yeah.
turns into one.
Yeah, the
Yep.
house cat just hulks out and turns into like this muscle-bound, 6 foot tall, cat beast.
Weird cat?
It's not even a weird cat. It's just a monstrosity that happens when a cat gets too angry.
Like almost every cat.
Yeah.
So cats have two routes. They either turn to Tresham or like Hulk beasts.
Pretty much.
It's like one of the two.
But unless
So if this is a burrow that I've used before, I'm going to or I probably would have dug like a place to bed, but in the wall, you know,
Mhm.
so that you're off the immediate ground and maybe hidden away in a corner.
So
So I'll bed down.
I'm gonna bring up the map just so I can show you this thing's token. You guys are still on the map, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So this is what happens when your house cat gets pissed off.
It turns
Oh,
into a
no.
so it turns into a JoJo cat.
Yeah, I turned into a JoJo cat.
Oh no!
That
It's a
is so,
tabaxi on steroids.
That's totally a JoJo cat.
Yeah, it's a tabaxi who's got the surname of Joestar.
That's what happens when a tabaxi and a Goliath mate.
Dear Lord, that is.
No.
The official monster name for it is Cat Scratch.
That's
Wow.
terrifying.
Oh.
Oh,
Sure, why not?
jeez.
So don't piss your cats off, or that's what happens. They turn into
Yeah.
JoJo characters.
Apparently.
So night passes without any issues, and you all wake up the next day. It's still pouring outside. Not pouring, but it's still raining outside. But you wake up still nice and warm inside the burrow, as the fire was kept going throughout the night. And it's the start of a brand new day, as dreary as it is with the rain outside.
Rain is lovely.
Oh yeah, I love it, but I know a lot of people don't like it. I'm just not allowed to have it because I'm in California.
How long of like do we roughly know about how long it's gonna take for us to get to the jungle?
On horseback, I said what it was about a week's journey on foot.
About that,
Right.
I think. Yeah.
So then
So
I
on horseback, you can make it in about 3.5-4 days.
so I only asked this because I'm gonna be playing an artificer in
Mhm.
the December campaign. Has Dorngold noticed Cornelius using woodcarver or smith tools?
Yeah, he was using his tools to assemble what that temporary guardian.
Well, I mean specifically on wood or stone. Not metal.
Not yet. No, you haven't really been around him while he's been trying to craft anything.
Okay, then I will not ask this question. I am going to find a like an like a bigger, like about a 2 to 3 inch in diameter rock, and so I can prepare for the day continual flame, because we're probably going to run into a situation where we need a light source, and I don't want to have to keep casting light.
Good idea. Because this being you know the nature bearer of the group, you know this rain isn't going to let up anytime soon.
Yeah, and continual light specifically lasts until I dispel it.
Yep, it cannot be extinguished by natural means.
Or it gets dispelled. So
Yeah.
you know, dead magic, counterspell.
If you
or
really
not
want, if you
counterspell.
want to confuse somebody, cast continual flame on a stone and put it underwater.
This is how you get burned as a witch. Christina would like to go on a small hunt for breakfast.
Okay. So if Krishana and I would assume Rild would want to join as well.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys, you can either do a group survival check or you can do a survival check with advantage. It's up to you.
Oh, what is Rild?
Yeah. Nobody asked the Baralacki's name.
I would have asked them. You know, just I was gonna text you and ask you
Yeah.
what his name was.
His name is Rutgar. Rutgar.
How large is Rild?
I'm a medium creature.
Okay.
Is he gonna like ride on your back and just like skeet shoot things?
That is exactly what we're going to do.
Okay. So do you?
Rild, hop
Do
on.
you want
We're
the
going
aid
hunting.
or what's that?
Hop on. We're going hunting.
He'll just kind of look you up and down for a second, kind of like unexpected, but he'll hop
But
on.
okay.
I'm presuming he is a fighter.
Rild?
Legend?
I'm a ranger fighter.
Oh,
mix, yeah.
no, Rutgar. Yeah, he is a 4th level fighter. I've got a token for him and everything ready.
Nice.
Because thankfully the bear folk are 4th level. All right, so you guys go out hunting, so you can either give a group check or a check with advantage. Up to you.
I will give Rild the check with advantage.
Mhm.
All right, that'll be survival.
Well, the advantage won it at natural 20 for a 27.
Nice. So you're out hunting, and it doesn't take you long to find a rather large swine wandering the plains during the rain. And with a well-placed shot, you put it down, and you're able to bring it back to the camp. Carve it up for cooking, and this looks like it can provide enough for your group, enough for 2 meals if you wanted to preserve the rest of it.
Bringing home the bacon.
Literally. the
Literally.
bacon.
Yeah, we'll
Preserve the crap out of the rest
preserve.
of it. Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to cook
Wait.
breakfast?
Do we get to make pocket bacon?
Why not?
What is pocket bacon?
Critical Role. It's a Critical Role thing.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry about it.
I don't watch enough Critical Role to know.
Who's gonna try to cook said swine?
I'll assist.
I'll do it.
Okay.
You can assist.
I'm skeptical of the my ability to cook after that last one.
Survival, correct?
Survival, yes.
Oh, don't forget your +2.
Mm-hmm.
25.
25. Okay. So since this was a natural 20 animal that you bagged,
Okay.
and it's a successful cook here, everybody is given a point of inspiration.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, please.
That lasts until used.
Ooh.
Those are the
that's-
best kind.
Those are the best inspirations. Of the ones that last until use.
Hold until needed. I love it.
Yes.
Switch Rutgar's name around and it's Rugrats. So after eating and storing the remaining meat from that breakfast hunt, you all begin to set out for the day. Who wants to lead this time?
Oh, sure. I'll do it.
Oh.
Okay.
Guidance.
As long as it's not Therian.
Hey.
I wait on all of these questions of who wants to do fill in the blank. I wait like 1 or 2 seconds. If no one speaks up, I'm totally doing it.
It's Therian's realization that no one's gonna do it, and it's like, oh,
Yep.
do it. Dice, you're borderline fired. 12.
Okay. And percentiles?
38.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So, you guys still stick on the road. And Rild, you've been out here, out far enough to this location that you know you'll be coming to a gorge. That's got a sort of gatehouse and bridge built across it. Sort of a halfway checkpoint where the plains break off and it starts going into a jungle biome for the wildlands. But as you get to the gatehouse itself, let me grab everybody here because, well, I need everybody.
It's not
Cornelius,
reassuring.
where did you go? There's Cornelius. I knew he wouldn't abandon the group forever. So he's being a pain in the ass and not being dragged onto the character sheets. There we go. Copy you all here. Because this is a map. We had Christiana in the front, that's right.
We did.
Cornelius. Rutgar is riding in the back. Okay. So let's pull you all to this. Bring up the map screen.
Oh no.
Is it raining on the map?
It is raining on the map.
Yes, that's a
Okay,
thing you can do
that's-
now.
That's not my eyeballs wigging out.
No, that is from an animation pack. They have animated weather effects.
Nice.
But
Dude.
as you show up to the gatehouse, you can see that it's been utterly destroyed. From a couple impact craters on the ground and some holes on the bridge itself, it looks like fragments of the meteor had crashed through here a couple days past. So aside from the off-putting holes, the bridge still looks like it's in one piece. And with enough careful trek, you, your mounts, and the cart should be able to make it across without a problem.
Dorngull will suggest a one at a time crossing instead of a line,
Probably a good idea.
just to not put excess weight on the bridge.
Are you implying the bridge might be unstable?
My friend, it has very large holes in it. I don't know about you, but I am a big fellow. I don't want to risk falling into chasm.
Go first.
All right, so Rild, go ahead and move yourself up on the map.
But before I do, I'm going to get rope. It's gonna tie it around my waist.
Good idea.
And how long is this bridge? Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna need 2 lengths of rope.
Yep.
So
It's 80 feet across.
I got another one.
So tie my rope to my waist, and then the end of that's going to be spliced together to make longer rope, and I'll start heading across
Okay. So
carefully.
go ahead and move yourself onto the map. Let's go with your movement speed first, so other people can take actions if they want to. Pretty much getting a marching order here as to who's going where and when.
Who did you hand the other end of the rope to?
Good question.
Is there something that it can be tied off to that looks stable?
Not
No.
really. It
Okay.
looks like if you were to try to tie it off to the building or something like that, and you were to fall, the building would give way.
Meh. Fun. Okay. Well, I'm going to. Christiana and Therian were like. I'm going to give it to Christiana because A, she's
The
big,
closest.
has 4 hoofs, and strong.
And she's the closest to you.
Well, the other was going to be to the warg.
Yeah, give it to Reaver. Reaver be like, oh, he's falling. I ain't. Just lets it go.
Whoops.
I ain't dealing with that.
Too much effort.
I'm too old for this shit.
Therian will speak up when he sees the rope being handed off. You know, dwarves are quite used to climbing and descending sheer surfaces. We know how to handle these types of things quite well. And I'm going to take out a piton from my climber's kit
Okay.
and find a heavy solid stone within the ground that I can drive the piton into, that we can tie the rope off on. I mean, if it's good enough for climbing up a surface, surely it'll help you when you're going horizontally across the surface.
How long is the rope that you have?
It's now, I think it's 100 feet because we tied 2 together.
Tied 2 together.
And I have another extra 50 feet if we need it.
Okay. So where are you looking to put this piton?
Since there's buildings nearby, I would look around to see where the foundation of these buildings are. Because, I mean, you can't build something if it's not going to be on a foundation. It's just going to fall apart. And the foundation's going to be the most stable part of the building.
Tell that to people in Minecraft.
Well, I'm sorry. Our trees in real life don't float there if you knock the bottom block out. It's just not how it works.
No, the best is Terraria, where you build up an entire building and then you just take out the bottom 10 blocks across the
It just
entire
sits there.
screen.
All right, go ahead and
No.
give me a survival roll, seeing as how, you know, dwarves are accustomed to climbing
Oi.
and home inspection.
Knowing how well Therian does when he's looking around and his I see things, can I assist him?
Sure.
Because this is my brother.
Sure.
and I'm still going to look up at Christiana while this is happening and say, still hold on to the rope.
I wasn't planning on letting go.
It's a 22 on
appreciate it.
survival.
Okay, a 22. So you find that right here is sturdy enough to fit in the rope to without any risk of collapse.
I will do just that.
Okay.
Then once it's driven into the foundation there and the rope tied off on it, I will go back and remount up on Reaver.
Okay. Is anybody else going across, or are you just waiting to do it one at a time?
I would suggest one at a time if anybody tries to cross with me.
Yeah, Dorngo's waiting for one at a time. So he's gonna let
Yeah.
all the light people go first.
If it breaks underneath the small ones, there's gonna be questions.
There's gonna be questions. Is this a thing that they actually have? Check.
So the knot around my waist is a bowline, and then the knot joining the two is 2 half hitches on D. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are words you just said.
Yep.
Somebody has their Boy Scout badge for knots.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: it's not me. All
Right,
I heard,
so-
all I heard was, "I tie a knot."
Can you not?
They're good knots. They're good knots specifically for the purposes that I. Yeah,
Okay.
Anyways.
So, again, movement speed wise, go ahead and begin to move yourself.
So I'm going to be moving cautiously, so I'm going to be moving half speed.
Half speed, probably a good idea.
Is-
Okay, so as you begin to walk, you don't really feel the bridge give way underneath you or anything like that, aside from the obvious holes from the where the fragments hit. It still seems to be crossable, you know, with a little love and skilled repair. This should be back into operational order within a day and a half's worth of work. So when you get there, there's a strange crash above you.
Oh, I'm sorry, above me?
Above you.
There's an above me.
As
other than the
thunder
sky.
begins to roll. And then you see 2 streaks of lightning come up from either side of the bridge. These 2 streaks of lightning then crash and then turn into these enormous red feathered birds with blue plumes coming off the tips. The lightning, not the lightning, but the water itself from the rain doesn't seem to be falling on them. It's almost as if they're repelling it just by hovering in the air. And they both let out a almost agitated cry as they notice you on the bridge. And I think that's where we're going to end for the week, just because we're going to be getting into combat.
Close to being a cliffhanger without actually hanging off a cliff.
Well, I mean, give it a few seconds and you might be.
I have so many bad ideas already.
Oh god, no one's swinging from the bridge while doing combat.
Oh no, of course not.
I'm thinking somebody's going to jump off the bridge and try to ride the bird.
Closer, but not quite.
The scary thing is I have the best chance of doing that.
Please don't.
So that is going to do it for us tonight. That way we're not running until 1 o'clock in the morning by doing
2, 3.
2, 3. Yeah. Cause you know, we got to get up in the morning. Some of us, you know, have to do the adulting.
Goddamn adulting.
Goddamn adulting. Why can't I be, you know, on summer vacation? But that is going to do it tonight for us, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is not the only show that we do. We've got a multitude of shows that we do throughout the week. I almost was going through the original pitch with the original shows, but 2 of those original shows are on break right now due to baby vacation. As Zorro and Shadow Fox take care of their adorable child. We need her on stream, Shadow Fox.
Right now?
No. We need her on stream to do dice rolls for you guys at times.
Oh,
just have the little agent of chaos to roll in the dice.
that'll be a little bit.
But while the Monday show and the Tuesday show are on break, we've got 2 little mini adventures going on right now. On Mondays we have No Way Out, which is as it sounds like a Knoll mini adventure as HP Fox takes us through the Mirage Desert as we are a bunch of dumb Knoll pups trying to prove that we have the right stuff to continue to honor our people.
Some of you have the right stuff.
Others are dead.
Hey now.
Hey, you're dead. You can't defend yourself.
Dead people don't talk.
Literally cannot defend yourself.
And she literally gave up intelligence to get a feat, then
Yep.
died.
On Tuesday,
Wouldn't that be depressing if you couldn't come back right after all that, getting that extra ability, and then you just die?
Well, I don't know if I'm coming back yet.
Damn.
Or if you wake up from this and that ability's gone because you died.
Don't give him ideas. No, you shush.
No, I already know what's gonna happen.
I want my intelligence back then.
and then on Tuesdays, where we would normally have Destiny Forged, we have Into the Wildlands, which you are watching now. On alternating Saturdays, we have Withered Wastes, which is a homebrew 5th edition magical apocalypse style game, which IDM starting at 11:30 a.m. PST. And then on the other Saturdays, Azerin is taking a group of adventurers through the Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign. I almost said Evolution Curse for some reason.
And we're still trying to fill a back slot for that.
Yep. And yeah, we are trying to fill a open casting slot for that. I believe casting calls are going to be going out for that at some point.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
trying to grab some people I know in other communities, but unfortunately, IRL and Koof are causing issues.
And then for the month of December, we are having a special holiday one-shot where everybody is playing a group of merry kobolds who follow and worship the deity of everlasting joy, the ever wonderful raccoon. And they will be storming a Tower of Greed in order to procure some items that a certain goose has stolen. But that is going to do it for us tonight, everyone. We will see you on Saturday for the next episode of Withered Wastes. And then episode 1 of Mr. Raccoon is coming to town. We will also be giving away more dice for our December giveaway on Saturday. So tune in for all kinds of shenanigans and your chance to win some amazing dice from Kraken. But until then, have a good one. We'll see you later.